Hey folks, welcome back to Harmony Hub presented by Memorial Connect. I'm Lamar Hampton, and today we're answering one of the most common and honestly one of the trickiest questions families have. How much does it actually cost to hire a funeral singer in the Washington, D.C. area? If you've tuned in before, you know we love digging into those details that help families plan with confidence and maybe even find a bit of peace in the process. Now, when we're talking about funeral singers in DC, the price range is, well, it can be kind of a surprise if you haven't looked into it before. For a soloist, you're usually looking at $200 to $400 for the service, maybe 2 or 3 songs for a church or graveside setting. If you want someone really experienced or maybe a singer who does a lot of big events, that can go up to $900, especially if you're asking for something more specialized. Groups, now that's where things climb a bit, right? You might have a gospel trio or a small group run $500 to about $1,200. And if you want a full-on choir with 6, maybe more singers, you can see fees topping out at $2,000 or more. But why is there such a big range? Well, there's a handful of factors. How experienced is the singer? Are they already a regular at your church? Or are you bringing in someone with a reputation for those moving solos? Number of songs, 2 or 3 tunes might be standard, but start asking for unique or custom arrangements and it's likely the price goes up. Accompaniment is another one. Some rates include a pianist or organist, but sometimes you've got to book and pay for those folks separately. Travel is a factor too. If your service is out in the Maryland or Virginia suburbs, you'll often see travel fees, anywhere from $25 to $100 added on. I'll tell you, the very first time a good buddy of mine asked me to help him find a singer for his father's memorial, it caught me off guard how wide that price spectrum went. We were thinking a couple hundred, but when we started calling around and factoring all those bits, extra rehearsals, travel, whether there'd be a sound system, it added up quick. That was the light bulb moment for me, realizing there's a ton behind those numbers, and sometimes just knowing what to ask up front can help you plan and budget without any extra stress. So, say you're ready to start searching for a funeral singer in DC. Where do you look? Well, a lot of folks go straight to their church or ask their funeral home for referrals. That's a great starting point, honestly, especially if you're part of a community with regular musicians. But there's also music schools like Howard University or Catholic University. Both have students and grads eager for this kind of work. And of course, you've got your online options these days, platforms like The Bash, Gig Salad, or Thumbtack. If you're after a certain style, maybe gospel, jazz, even opera, you can filter by genre, check out sample performances, reviews, and go from there. When you start reaching out, be sure to ask the big questions right away. Is the singer available on your service date? What kind of repertoire do they offer? Can they sing the specific songs you have in mind, or are there any that aren't in their comfort zone? How do deposits work? Some singers or agencies will ask for a deposit up front, and you'll want to get a clear sense of what's included in their fee. Is travel extra? What about rehearsals? Or is sound equipment part of the deal? It might feel like a lot, but a transparent conversation saves so many headaches down the line. Let me give you a quick case example. A family, not too long ago, found themselves in a pinch when their church soloist couldn't make it last minute. They reached out to memorialconnect.com, yes, that's our platform, and ended up browsing gospel trios through a church listing. What stood out for them, after speaking to a few options, was how clearly each group laid out their package. Deposit, which songs were part of the base fee, what would cost extra, and even what the dress code would be. That transparency gave the family peace of mind, plus the trio went above and beyond, singing a special song requested by the family's youngest daughter, which wasn't in their usual set list. It just showed, again, the value in knowing what to ask, and finding singers, especially through trusted platforms, who are upfront and dependable. Now let's talk about making the music really personal, because that's what everyone remembers, right? In DC, you see all kinds of requests. Classic hymns are still on top, Amazing Grace, Ave Maria, How Great Thou Art. They just never go out of style. But gospel standards like His Eyes on the Sparrow or Precious Lord, Take My Hand are incredibly popular in the area too, as are jazz or pop tunes if the family wants something that was special to their loved one. And if you want a song that isn't on the usual list, most pro singers are happy to learn it. Might be an extra fee, usually in that $25, $75 per song range, just because there's rehearsal time or new arrangements involved. Those special requests, maybe it's an old jazz standard or even something from Broadway, can really make a ceremony unforgettable. But you've got to consider the venue too. Catholic masses need approved liturgical music, while Protestant churches or non-religious spaces are pretty flexible. That's where working with a singer or ensemble who's experienced with all kinds of venues is so valuable. They can help you navigate what's possible, what'll work best for the space, the acoustics, and the mood you want to set. I actually heard from one Harmony Hub listener recently. Their family wasn't sure how to honor their grandmother, who loved jazz and Motown. They found a singer through Memorial Connect who agreed to do 2 classic gospel numbers. Plus, on top of that, learn My Girl with a small group backing her. Turn what was going to be a simple ceremony into something way more personal and powerful. And that's the heart of it, right? Choosing music that's meaningful creates a moment that feels less like a service and more like a real celebration of life. Remember, early communication is everything. Share those music ideas up front, ask about extra fees for custom songs, and trust your instincts when you find a singer or group who gets your vision. That's how you create something truly memorable and comforting for everyone gathered. Thanks for joining me on Harmony Hub, and if you found today helpful, stick around for more stories and tips on memorial music next time.